In this video, I will review the exotic void linear fusion rifle, Lorentz driver, the new exotic for Season of the Lost. After this video, I'll give you my thoughts on the weapon. In the end, the video, you will know everything about the Lorentz driver and where it performs well. Spoiler alert, it's anywhere and everywhere. There's Toasticus here. Today, I will review the exotic for Season of the Lost, Lorentz driver. I'm going to review the Lorentz driver in Crucible and Strikes. I will then compare it to arbalist and finally give my thoughts on the Lorentz driver at the end of the video. We'll first start out with how it works. Before we get into it, I highly suggest you like and subscribe. It's free, can be done at the press of a button, and you'll never miss out on future Destiny 2 content, Season of the Lost, and beyond. We will start with what the Lorentz driver does. The Lorentz driver is a linear fusion rifle in the energy slot that has two main perks. The first perk is Lagarian sights. There we go. Which will give you wall hacks randomly. When the enemy with wall hacks is killed, it drops a telemetry. Pick up 3 of those telemetries to get a damage buff. The other perk is anomaly, which when on headshot kills, sucks enemies into an explosion, which can be really useful. And it's a really useful perk we'll also talk about later in this video. The catalyst gives you better radar, and while with 3 telemetries, anomaly doesn't need to be headshots. So here's how the gun goes. Some random dude gets marked with wall hacks. You then kill the guy who which the wall hacks is marked. Repeat 2 times. Oh, you have the catalyst?
This is where the fun begins.
Time for a damage buff and infinite explosions. Enough about the gun. Now let's look at how it performs in the core playlist of Destiny 2. Lorentz drivers in Crucible is what you'd expect for a linear fusion rifle. Basically a charge-up sniper rifle. It is basically a better arbalist. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. Whatever else. The anomaly perk is really good for when you get a headshot on a group of enemies, which will also be in more detail in the PvE section of this. I've not gotten the catalyst, but from what I know, I can assume that it'll be helpful since better radar is always good in PvP. I'm personally bad at snipers and linear fusion rifles in PvP. This gun just hits shots for no reason. For fun, I messed around with arbalist for my comparison, and it didn't hit most of its shots that I'm pretty sure would have hit on Lorentz driver. Or I'm just bad at the game, because that's usual. Good weapon. Now, to the other side. PvE. For Strike/PvE, it is a weapon that can use large groups of enemies as an advantage because of the anomaly perk. I'll give you an example. So you're fighting a horde of thrall, you hit a headshot, and now all the thrall are gone, since the anomaly perk just wiped him out of existence. Lagarian sights are very useful in PvE. Well, the damage buff. The wall hacks I don't see as useful because, well, you don't really need to know where your enemy is in PvE. And most of the time, when they're locked on, it's mostly like red bar dregs. You just kill them instantly. A great way to use this is the new particle deconstruction mod. Haven't gotten it yet, so no judgments on the mod. But it seems like it will be very good with this weapon. In low-end PvE, anything will go, but the question is high-end PvE, which includes nightfalls. Since fusion rifles have a champion mod this season, fighting champions will be way easier. Problem is health bars. Even red bar vandals have some health in high difficulty nightfalls. Enemies in nightfalls are not joking around. Well, I guess it's some good news. The Lorentz driver hits like a truck, a train, and an airplane. I was using it in Legend Nightfalls, and raider enemies will literally die in 2 shots. And I one-shotted enemies without shields. The only thing that gives problems are champions and bosses, but those are just basically walking bullet sponges. So do they really count? So in PvE it is really good. Time for the comparison between arbalist, but I have one thing. Before we get to comparing it to arbalist, I'll also suggest to like and subscribe. It's free and you will never miss out on future Destiny 2 content coming, Season of the Lost and beyond. I make commentary videos like this or gameplay videos with funny edited sounds on them. My content is all about making people laugh and giving knowledge about Destiny 2 content to people who know nothing about the game. Or might know nothing about the game. I've also set a goal of 60 subscribers before December, and if we hit it, I'll dress in a Santa outfit on stream. So, become a Sith today so I can be Santa. The fusion rifle has a kinetic older brother. We know this one is arbalist. They're very similar guns, but are both different. Let's start with the damage. Arbalist does 16,297 to the body. The head does 38,496 damage. The Lorentz driver's base damage, 15,740 for the body, and 36,663 to the head. With the buff, it does 15,981 for the body, and 54,991 to the head. So the buff, it does more damage than arbalist when it comes to headshots. How it performs will be talked about now. Arbalist in Crucible for me doesn't hit my shots at all. And Lorentz driver just hits his shots for some reason. Arbalist may have superior damage, but the buff for Lorentz driver just absolutely tears through enemies. Arbalist and Nightfalls do pretty well, since Arbalist can destroy shields easily, though it's a kinetic weapon, weirdly. But compared to Lorentz driver, it is more useful in Nightfall since the void energy and its perk EM anomaly could take down hordes of enemies. To summarize, Arbalist is still good, but compared to Lorentz driver, it's not as good. Both are good weapons, don't mistake that, but the Arbalist takes up a kinetic slot, which can be filled with any other weapon in existence. Arbalist cannot use the champion mod Unstoppable Fusion Rifle / Linear Fusion Rifle. Poor Arbalist. That was just undeserved. But it should be getting, like, Barrier next season, hopefully. I thought on the Lorentz driver that it's just a better Arbalist. The wallhacks are not really that useful in PvE because knowing the position of your enemy is not much needed, but PvP they are much more useful. They last for a pretty short time when I've gotten them. The telemetry for the damage buff is pretty nice. What I would actually change is giving the weapon damage buff that maxes to 3 stacks when picking up the telemetry. Overall, I think this weapon is a really good weapon for PvE and PvP. The damage is really good, and it's a fun weapon to use where you don't have to turn off your brain. I also have a gameplay video of me using this gun, so stay tuned for that. I'll rate it a 5 out of 5. It's a really good gun that you should use in the game. Very good in the crucible and strikes. I suggest giving it a try. Probably one of the best season pass guns out of this year, which, I mean, it just tops all over them because Cynthia 774, whatever it's called, was literally a sidearm. This was my review of the Lorentz driver Linear Fusion Rifle in Season of Lost. Showing you how it works, how it performs in the core playlist, comparing it to its kinetic brother Arbalist, and giving my thoughts. If you enjoyed it, like and subscribe, it's appreciated, and if you made it this far, comment down below funny Lorentz driver. I'll see you next video. Toaster out.